The Vengeance Class DropShip is the largest fighter carrier in existence. Capable of carrying over 40 fighters in 3 small craft, the ship functions as an AeroSpace Fighter support for major operations. The Vengeance is probably one of the most formidable vessels operating in the inner sphere. Though it does not have the firepower of a Union Class DropShip, its fighter complement can lay waste to a ship in the matter of minutes. Able to launch up to 8 fighters per minute, the Vengeance can deploy its entire force in as little as 5 to 6 minutes. And guarantee the aerospace superiority of a Vengeance-equipped force over any opponent. Even WarShips have good reason to fear such a potent fighting force. The Vengeance class is nominally an aerodyne, although the absence of wings or lifting surfaces prohibits it from atmospheric operations. This removes the need for a separate maneuver drive. Because its drives are all aft-mounted, up is always towards the nose of a ship. This results in a series of small decks rather than a few large ones, as found on most dropships. The standard Vengeance has 47 decks, most of which contain crew quarters or fighter bays. The bay contains 43 fighter and small craft cubicles that line the walls. Running down the center of the bay are a number of small bracing walls separated by open archways. In emergency and always during combat, tremendous doors seal the archways, dividing the bay into smaller, self-contained. Each of these bays, called the port and starboard hangars, has 4 small launch decks at its forward end and a large recovery deck at its aft. Each of these launch and recovery decks can be sealed off from the main hangar bays, allowing simultaneous launching, recovery and repair of fighters. The recovery deck has a reinforced inner door to prevent an incoming craft from plowing through the door and damaging the hangar bay. In addition, each recovery deck is equipped with magnetic grappling gear and special life support equipment for saving damaged fighters and the pilots. The crew decks are located on either side of the hangar bays. Mounted on one of the large flat sides is the ship's cockpit-style bridge. The ship's captain and the flight operations chief sit at the front of the bridge and are surrounded by view screens and windows. Behind them sits the pilot and navigator. The ship's large engine section sits behind the hangar bays and between the 2 fighter recovery decks. Because of the engine section's proximity to the recovery deck entrance, any craft that enters an accelerating Vengeance will get fried. Therefore, the ship's engine must be shut down completely during recovery operations. This puts the Vengeance in a dangerous situation should it need to recover a fighter during combat. Under normal conditions, however, the ship can receive up to 2 fighters per minute. The Vengeance class is equipped with light weaponry and armor for its size, but makes up with its maneuverability. The bulk of its firepower is made up by LRM launchers, 4 LM-20s and 1 LM-10. These are backed up with 2 PPCs and 5 large lasers. The close-range firepower consists of 16 medium lasers and 3 AC-5s. While it barely carries enough ammo for the AC-5s, the LM launchers are well fed. Vengeance-class vessels are rarely seen without an escort of 2 or 3 well-armed dropships, a testimony to the value of its aerospace assets. Usually, 6 of a vessel's aerospace fighter squadrons move to engage enemy targets during attacks, while the remaining squadrons stay with the carrier and serve as escorts. Most Vengeance-class dropships serve under the auspices of the Successor States, but a few operate independently or as part of mercenary units. Because the vessels are so valuable in battle, Vengeance captains can command fees starting at 5 million Seabills per mission. The Vengeance is designed to ensure aerospace superiority over a contested world or system. Being such a tremendous resource, it is sent only to areas of the utmost importance. When one of these vessels is present, it is quite likely that someone high up is showing a definite desire to hold onto property. Variants. Kellan Industries attempted to refit the Vengeance class in order to improve its weaponry. The PPCs were first upgraded to ER PPCs and the missile systems equipped with Artemis 4. The large lasers were also upgraded to extended range models and a Gauss rifle built into the nose of the vessel. Further, 22 heat sinks were added to make up for the increased heat generated, and fuel and cargo space were cut to make up for the upgrades. The Vengeance Pocket Warship. This pocket warship was created by the Magistracy of Canopus. It reduces the fighter complement to 18, adds a small naval comm scanner, and upgrades the armor to heavy ferroaluminium protection. The weapons were removed and replaced with 8 Piranha. These are supplemented by 14 LM-20s equipped with Artemis IV fire control systems. Artemis IV systems are also found on the 7 enhanced LM-20s scattered around the hull. 8 anti-missile systems provide additional protection. Twin medium X pulse lasers are in each wing, while 4 ER medium lasers cover the aft arc. 4 foot infantry base provide space marines, and the ship can carry 376 tons of cargo. Combat tactics. What is the Vengeance? 40 AeroSpace fighters and a trio of small craft. Nothing else really matters. What it lacks is the cargo base for armor and ammunition. It can manage multiple peaceful patrols or a single heavy combat strike. For ongoing combat operations, the Vengeance desperately needs supporting cargo dropships. This has the potential to come back and bite it hard. Compared to the well-balanced Titan, the idea of a Vengeance class is that it has a defensive platform. They have to sit close to supply assets and have a low sortie rate. Yet they can manage picket and patrol operations well enough. In the Vengeance, the hegemony gave the great houses a strong carrier with very little offensive capabilities. It was only the destruction of the succession wars that moved it into an offensive position.